Hello, Golden Gopher fans, and welcome to episode 1 of the Point U podcast. I'm EJ Stevens, the team sports information director, and today I'm joined by senior setters Elise McGhie and Melani Shaffmaster. Mel, we'll start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself, your hometown major, and position on the court?
Yeah, so I'm Melani Shaffmaster. I'm from Newcastle, Indiana. I'm a senior. And then my major, I'm double majoring in accounting and finance. And then I'm a setter on the court. So.
All right. Elise.
Yes.
How about you?
I am Elise McGhie. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I am a cellular and organismal physiology major here at the U.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's just a fancy name. It's really not that intense, but yeah.
So we got some elite student athletes here. Great on the court,
sure.
great off the court.
Yeah.
So with episode 1 here today, we're going to get to know you two a little bit, both off the court and on the court. And we'll talk volleyball, Big Ten venues, and we'll talk, some things with your teammates, things you like to do bonding when you're not playing volleyball.
All right.
So let's get rolling here with college volleyball. You two are now seniors. You've been around just a couple of years here. Just a few. So let's start with you, Mel. When you first got to college and had your first practice, I know you were an early enrollee. What were your first thoughts when you got on the practice floor at Minnesota for the first time?
Yeah, I was definitely scared. Not like in a bad way, not like, oh my gosh, like I don't belong here. But it was definitely like an adjustment coming in from like finishing high school and then not doing like another season of club volleyball. I had to play with I was with like Stephanie Samity and like Reagan and all those guys, and I was like 18 coming into college. So
casual.
I was just like, I think I was nervous and then a little scared just because like it was a big adjustment for me. But I definitely knew I was supposed to be at Minnesota. So
For sure.
yeah.
Was there a moment right away where you had like a welcome to college volleyball practice? Like, did you have a set that you tried to have or a pass that was way off the line and you were like, oh my God, I got to lock in here?
I think just like the pace of everything really like put me into perspective that I'm not in Indiana anymore type thing. And like watching it is a lot of fun. And then when you're seeing it, it doesn't look that fast. And then you're actually playing it. And it's like, wow, my brain is like everywhere all over the court right now. So
For sure.
yeah.
So, Elise, you spent your first couple of years at Kansas University. Can you recall what it was like when you first got on the floor there for practice?
Yeah, no, kind of a similar thing. I think like, we were seniors, or at least I was a senior like when COVID hit. So like we kind of like shut everything down. Like we had kind of been in like 18s club, and then like in the summer, like I remember we did some open gyms, and I just remember like setting some of the hitters and just being like, holy cow, like they can really hit the ball. Like, yeah, definitely just like a wake up moment, like with the pace and just like the physicality of everyone. Like, yeah, you're playing with like 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds who have been in the game for a really long time. So yeah, I would just say like kind of like shock, like, wow, like, yeah, you've watched it for so long, and then, oh, okay, now it's like really here. Like these people are really talented, and yeah, especially like I think as a setter, like just, you come in, you have to touch the ball every other ball, and you're playing with these awesome players, and it's just kind of like, oh, wow, this is like actually happening moment. So, yeah, for sure.
Huge adjustment from high school for sure. Mel, so you mentioned like Stephanie Samity and Reagan. My next question was there like a teammate or play one of your teammates made like during your first couple practices that you like your jaw dropped and you were amazed?
Yes. I'll remember this forever because I almost like died. But I was like drop off defense in the front row on the other side, and Stephanie, it was a well-formed block, like everything was how it was supposed to be, and somehow she hit it like in front of the 10-foot line, and I'm really happy I got my hands up because I would have had a concussion. But it was just like straight down with a block, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here right now? But yeah, it was definitely Stephanie, and she did that multiple times in practice, so it wasn't like after the first time I was like, okay, like I need to be ready. But for sure it was a lot of Stephanie doing crazy athletic things that I'm probably gonna see again.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was her whole career
that
here,
was her,
right?
yeah, that was her highlight reel. Like everything she did was crazy.
Her senior year too.
Yeah.
Like
amazing.
Player of the year, first team All-American.
Yeah.
Pav fans, I know we miss Stephanie. Shout out to her if she's watching.
Yeah.
Elise, what about you? Like, do you remember your first like D1 collegiate game? And what was that like, and who did you play?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so I remember we were playing Baylor, and it was like our first game of the season, and I wasn't setting or anything. I was just on the bench, and but I remember like I went in at some point, like I was just sitting on the bench, and like I was like, oh, this is cool, like, you know, whatever. Like there's no crowd because it was like during COVID, and I was like, wow, this is like really cool, like playing a game, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like my coach is like, okay, like Elise, like go in, and I was like, yeah, all right, like I got this. Like I walk up to the line, like sub in, and like blackout. Like I'm just like, holy crap! Like all of a sudden, like I was just like. This is actually happening, and like the ball's moving so much faster, and like I think I was playing like right back DS or something, so I don't even think I touched the ball, but I literally just remember being like I was so nervous. And yeah, so it was definitely like for me at least, like there was something about like actually playing in games that it's just like wow, like it's a whole nother level of like competition, and like kind of a wake up call that like wow, like I'm really out here. So
For sure.
yeah.
I'm sure you like the way you practice, you're playing all the time, you're doing the same things, you're working in an empty gym, and you're like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah,
I
for
do this all the time in practice. But how different, we'll start with you, Mel, when you get to a game, how different is it when the lights are on and the crowd's going crazy, especially in a lot of the Big Ten venues?
In front of like sold out fans all the time, and like we know all our donors pretty well, so we know they're here for a good time. And if you're playing in front of your parents, that's like additional stress, maybe not really. But I mean, versus practice, I would say like we have to be focused maybe like 80 to 90% of the practice, and we have like that little wiggle room of like, okay, we can look at the board. Okay, like that's okay, I messed that one up. Like I'm here with another one, like I get another chance. And in a game, I think when you're playing in the Big Ten, especially whenever we play on the road too, it's like normally like pretty big crowds. I think it's like you're locked in for the whole time. And I think after the game, you can be pretty physically tired. But I think for me, I'm more like mentally and emotionally like drained from having to be like, okay, like this point, like the last one doesn't matter, like this one, because like you are in the game and it can happen and it can get really fast to where it's like, oh, like we were just up 10-6 and now we're losing like 13 to, like we're down 13-10 now. So it's like, I think just being locked in and like, compared to practice, it's a lot more like mental, I think. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Is that what you would say too?
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think like it's just like it's different stakes. Like you're obviously playing like you want to like replicate, I guess, like a game in practice, and then like you want to play in a game like how you practice every day. Like you want to make that equal, but I just think that there's like it's hard to ignore the fact that like there's thousands of people in the stands, like you're actually playing like for something tangible. And yeah, I think like, you know, coaches are giving you feedback, or like not even feedback, but a lot of coaching, like a lot of moving parts. And
we have like scouting report for the other
yeah,
team.
scouting
like,
report.
There's a lot more stuff
it's just
like
there's so many more layers going on, and like yeah, and I think I love competing. Like I love the rush of like playing in front of people playing, but at the same time, like it is like it's a lot. And then like yeah, being the setter, you're running the show, so it's like yeah, it can be super like intimidating and like challenging, especially coming on from high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a setter, you got to control the game. You always have to be thinking about the next play.
Yeah.
Who am I going to? Where's the ball coming? So I definitely see that. That's something you got to be completely locked in for. Let's switch gears a little bit now and talk a little bit about teammates and, you know, your relationships with your current Gopher teammates. So we'll start with you, Elise. I know you transferred in, so you got here last year in the winter. Is that right? So what was that like for you going to a new place and trying to acclimate to Minnesota and also get to meet and build relationships with your teammates?
Yeah, it was really interesting, honestly, because like what I like to tell people is that like when you're a senior in high school, I feel like you're kind of like you're a little bit like sick of being at home, like you're sick of your family or whatever, and you know you're just ready for something new. And like I think you go to college and you're a freshman and everyone's trying to, you know, figure out their place and like make friends. So then for me, like transferring as a sophomore, it's kind of like, okay, you feel like you've got it all figured out, like, you know, college, like you got your friends. Then it's like, okay, let's pick all that up and start over again. And so that's kind of like a lot of what I felt like when I first came here. But I think like I was super lucky in that I got to live with teammates, which was a huge thing. But then like regardless of that, I think like the team here was just like so welcoming. It was just like there was really no transition period. Like I think I just came and it was like, yeah, like this is it. Like, you know, like we're friends, like we're teammates. And yeah, everyone was so awesome. It was just like, yeah, it was just like fit right in. And I think that's the great thing about like having teammates is that I think like you lose a little bit of like that like awkwardness or like if you don't really fit with someone because like you're just teammates and like you go through so much stuff together that like you really form like such a special bond with those girls. So I think that's like the really awesome thing about like, yeah, like transferring's hard, but like at least like you have such a good group of girls to like lean on and like rely on. So,
For sure.
yeah.
And Elise came and lived with you. Like, you guys are roommates now. So what was that like when she came in? Like, what were your first impressions? Because you lived with Rachel, right?
So
what was that like?
I actually got to talk to Elise before she committed to Minnesota because they were like, we have a setter. And they were like, you're the only setter on our team. And I was like, we have an open room in our apartment. So I talked to her. I FaceTimed her awkwardly while we were both at home for Christmas break about like a year and a couple months ago. And I remember like texting Rachel Kilkelly, who was our other my other roommate at the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope Elise, this girl, comes here. Like I just got done talking to her on the phone. She's normal and like really fun to talk to, super easy to talk to, and we're just gonna have a great new roommate. Like I really hope she comes to Minnesota. And then she did.
Yes. Melanie convinced
I
me.
think my perspective on like obviously we have to be able to get along because we're teammates. But if I was coming in new and like having to like make new friends, like I wouldn't want to be like super uncomfortable. So like I like to talk like if you're at our apartment ever, like it's literally us two and then like maybe Lauren normally is over. And, like, we're just talking about the most random things, like, all the time. Like, it's just not quiet. Because if it's quiet, someone thinks something is wrong. So we like to talk a lot. I talk, I think, because if not, I feel uncomfortable. So I think that's, like, my way of thinking about it is, like, she's coming in here and has no friends. Like, she's obviously, like, she's nervous. Like, she has to make new friends. And there's no point in being, like, weird about it.
Exactly.
So I think I was super excited because I had already talked to her. And I was, like, me and Rachel and Jenna was our other roommate at the time, and we were all, like, it was good that we were all living with team members. So I think it was great. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it really worked out so well.
We're
like I'm so
together.
lucky that I got to live with those girls because like. Yeah, I think, like, in the past, like, I mean, I've had great roommates, like, my whole college career, so, like, I'm really lucky with that. But I think, I mean, it's obviously, like, a gamble, like, with roommates, wherever you go. And, like, I mean, like, I'd seen their Instagrams and stuff. Like, I figured they were normal, but then, like, I got there, and it was just, like, awesome. Like, they were like, oh, like, okay, we're doing this. Like, we're going to go get dinner here. Like, we're going to do this errand. Like, do you need something? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, like, it's, like, just a, like, kind of immediate little family. So, yeah.
So what do you like to do together besides just throw out random conversations in the apartment?
Recently,
like, where do you go?
I think since this semester we came back and we were like, okay, like last semester we really just did volleyball in school, and we were still all getting to know like each other pretty much. And then this semester we've been really dedicated to like going to other sports. So we've been to a lot of wrestling. We've been to men's basketball. We have a new roommate who's on the women's basketball team. So we went to women's basketball.
Gymnastics.
We went to gymnastics. We went to an intramural volleyball game last night.
Okay.
To see some friends from class.
Nice.
So I think our goal for like this semester was to really like go and like see everyone. Like we see people at the dinner all the time at the AV, and it's like, oh, we see them all the time, but we never go and like watch like what they actually get to do every night, like on the ice or like on the court or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people come to our games and we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
So if they're coming to ours, like we should be going to everyone else's. So that was our goal for the spring.
For sure.
So.
What are your favorite sports to go to, would you say?
I really enjoy hockey. It's kind of hard because it's so fast, and I definitely don't understand all the rules.
Yeah, me
but like
neither.
it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
People are
it's
really
so
good.
fun.
So it's like a bonus.
And there's so many people. It's like really exciting.
Yeah.
Like the atmosphere is really cool.
Yeah.
It gives Pav energy.
Of
Yeah,
course.
for
times
sure.
like 10, a lot
For
more
sure.
people, but it's like the same energy. Like everyone's really into it, and it's not just like we're just watching
Yeah.
them skate around.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
I love that. It's cool to see other student athletes supporting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so fun too, and like if you like meet the people on the team too,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, you root for
Yeah.
the people you know.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So what about, okay, we're on the road a lot during
Mhm.
the fall. Get to
Yes.
play 10 Big Ten road games plus a couple non-conference as well. When you're on the road and we're leading up to a game day, what do you guys like to do? Like if it's a 7 o'clock game, what does your day look like?
During the day, do you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think for me, we're on the road, so I usually have homework to do, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer.
Boring.
Especially for game day, like you don't want to spend it doing homework, but
Yeah.
so we usually like wake up, we'll get breakfast with the team, we'll do like a little serve and pass situation in the morning for like an hour or so. And then usually after that is when I have to do my homework or go to class on Zoom or something. And then after that I feel like we usually have a little bit of a break, so it's like
Now books us up during the day.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. She
like
gets us right.
a
Shout out to
little
Nell.
time
Check
for
the
like
calendar.
nap maybe, little Starbucks situation if there's one
Coffee
nearby.
run, normal coffee run.
Yeah.
We normally do our makeup together, us two.
Yeah.
And it would be Rachel and Lauren.
Yep.
Normally we do like a get ready with me TikTok or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think
it
that's
makes
on
it more
Lauren's
fun,
page.
though. Like it's something
But
to do.
yeah, it's pretty entertaining. And then we're normally like listening to music, I think. Other than now schedule activities, I feel like it's nap, homework, and makeup.
Yeah.
Okay.
And coffee.
So you have your routine pretty set.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really do. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're warming up for the game, you got to get your music right, of course.
Of course.
What are your go-to songs?
Oh.
Like what's your go-to song? I'll start with you,
Go-to
Elise.
song?
To like really pump you up, you got to listen to.
Oh shoot, I don't know.
I'm gonna shout out Erica on this one. Towards the end of the year, it's really an aggressive song, but it's Red
Yeah.
Off by 21
Yeah, we
Savage.
did listen to that one.
We
a
got on
little
that
bit.
one.
What else?
Peppa's.
Oh,
I don't
we
know
love
about how to
Peppa's.
say
Of
the guy's
course.
name.
That was a big one this season.
Um,
What else?
Randomly, there's a country song in there somehow. I don't know
Okay.
how that works, but it does.
Yeah.
What do we always listen to?
I don't even know now.
Yeah, it's like just rap.
100
pretty much.
Shots.
Oh yeah, 100 Shots by Young Dolph.
Okay.
It's a little aggressive.
It's pretty aggressive.
Okay, so you really like to get fired up.
Yeah.
I see. I got
Yeah,
you.
we're not really like the kind that listens to like
We're not like
classical
yeah,
music
like,
or
we're
like
not locking, like,
yoga.
we're
Yeah.
getting
Some
rowdy.
athletes like that,
Yeah.
but like me personally, no.
We're like jumping around.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
fired up for sure.
Okay, so how long before the game would you say you really start getting pumped up? Because you don't want to get like too high
Yeah,
before
no.
Yeah.
warm-ups and then have to come down and
mean,
get
I'd say
up
like
again.
30 minutes before
Yeah.
our meeting or something, like
Okay.
right before we get going with
Film.
everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then when
Just
we're
like
at
we're all
home,
kind of like when we're at home, we're all doing our makeup,
mhm,
like
there's music playing, but it's not like we're
yeah,
getting ready.
like getting changed, like
Right.
during that. I feel like
Yeah.
that situation. Yeah,
I think we probably get the most when we come back in from like the 15 minutes we have, and then we're like changing. Is when everyone gets like riled up.
Yeah.
That's
And
when
then
you
we
get
go back
going.
out for the rest of warm-ups and we
Yeah.
play, and it's like we're ready after that.
for sure.
Yeah.
And Elise is the team DJ, for those that don't
Yes.
know, in the Gopher volleyball
Sank-
world.
And our technical coordinator, Sanky Sani. Shout out DJ Sank.
DJ Sank, we love you. So how much
we
do you
do.
pride yourself in that, being the team DJ and being in control a lot of the time?
Yeah, it's
Control.
a pretty big deal.
It's a heavy task.
Yeah, I mean, I am the DJ, but I gotta give a shout out to the rest of the team. It is a collaborative Spotify playlist, so I really don't do anything except plug my phone in and hit play. But yeah, I feel like me and DJ Sank have a really good relationship, and we just like try to make the vibes good for practice. So
And that's crucial.
yeah, oh, it's
Put you in the right state of
absolutely
mind.
crucial for sure. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back into a little bit of volleyball stuff now. All right. So, actually, no, one more question about off the court. Okay, since you guys spend so much time together, on the court, on the road, you live together,
Yes.
have you ever gotten sick of each other or gotten in like a little tiff? Or has it been butterflies and rainbows the whole time?
Honestly, I feel like we're so like close and like we spend so much time together that like if we're annoyed at each other. It's just
Like
like
normally we're both going into each other's rooms and we're like, oh my gosh, are you mad at me?
Yeah.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Are you mad at me? Like,
or
what's going on?
like
And then
or
we're
Melanie
like,
will
no.
just be like, Elise, like cut it out, like go to your room or something. Like we need like space.
Apartment mom.
We need
We'll be
space.
like, yeah, like there'll be a day when like we probably haven't gone to like another sporting event and we'll just be in our living room for like 6 hours every night after
we don't really get
class.
sick of each other.
And then it's like a Thursday and we're like, okay, like we need to go to everyone go to their rooms
Yes.
and put some music on and don't talk to each other. We'll see each other in the morning. We need some alone time.
Okay, so you said boundaries.
Yeah.
It
most
happens
of the
rarely.
time.
We rarely don't have to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we never never puts us together on the road.
Yeah,
so
that's so true.
we don't get to room together.
Yeah,
Trying to do
shocking.
homework.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no real tiffs
Yeah,
though.
no
We've never had an
tiffs.
actual like
No.
I'm mad at Elise. Elise is mad at me. Have we?
No.
No, yeah, no.
No.
Okay,
I was
good.
like, wait.
No.
Unless I don't know something
I'm trying
you
to
know.
think of one recently, but no, we
No.
have not.
Okay, good. Let's get into some Big Ten volleyball stuff now. Let's
Yeah.
really dig into it
Right.
on this Point U podcast, episode 1. All right, so everyone knows the Big Ten's the best volleyball conference in the country, right? Obviously. All right, so
That's without a
who would
doubt.
you say your favorite team in the conference to play against is and why? Elise, we can start with you.
Team to play against.
Like there, or are we just
Okay,
talking team in
well,
general?
In general.
Okay.
I mean, rivalries are fun. So, like, Wisconsin is fun to play against.
Well, yeah, it's one of the greatest rivalries in college
Yeah,
sports.
I mean, it is a great rivalry. So it's like, I know like our game that we had here against them, like that's probably one of my like favorite college games I played in ever, just because it's like, I don't know, like the atmosphere in the PAV is so cool, and like everyone is like texting you about it, like leading up to it. There's such a build up because it's like, oh, like we're playing Wisconsin, like blah blah blah. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they're super fun to play just because of like that rivalry, I feel like, and obviously we're both really good teams, so that's cool. But yeah.
I would say I like playing Wisconsin at home.
Yeah,
Definitely
at
don't like
home.
going to
At home.
the field house. But I think Nebraska is a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I was
'cause
gonna say.
feel like
So it's like so cool to like
Mhm.
just get to play at the Bob. I can't say Devaney. Devaney, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, the Bob Devaney Center.
Yeah, the Bob at Devaney. It's cool to play there.
yeah.
So yeah, I think Nebraska's cool too, and obviously again a really really good team.
Yeah.
So it's always
It's
a really
always a
good
good game when we play
competition.
them.
Yeah.
How fun was it this year to go into the Bob?
Oh my god.
First
It
sweep
was
there since the
so
1980s for the
crazy.
Gophers.
Yeah.
I think it was even more crazy that like the whole entire game, I'm pretty sure we were like up and then we were down and then we were like, okay, we just won that set, so let's just win
Yeah,
like the next one
it
and
was
the
so
next one.
awesome.
Speaking of so many people, what's it like playing a packed home game at the PAV?
Oh,
It's
that's
Describe
the
that.
best.
It's actually the best.
The
energy
PAV is by
ever.
far the best.
It is. It's the
gym
best
to
setup.
play
It
at.
has, like, it has just great energy and like the music, and then like, I don't know, like I like how like far away like the fans are, but they're not like too far away because some places
Yeah.
you go, they're like standing on top of you,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's a really nice setup, just how like the PAV is, and it's just
Yeah, I
it's
love
just
the
always
PAV.
good energy. I mean, even if it's not sold out, it's close. Like maybe like 500 tickets
Yeah.
aren't sold or something, but it's like whoever's there is cheering and like want us to win, and it's just a great.
Oh my gosh,
great
yeah.
time.
I love the PAV.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a good environment, and like I feel like so connected to the fans too.
Mhm.
Like I feel like everyone's so engaged and like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like so cool. It's like by far like my
Mhm.
favorite place to play like ever. So, yeah.
And Elise, you were someone that, notoriously led the bench when you were not
Oh,
serving
yeah.
in
Oh,
cheers.
Yeah, that's right.
What was your favorite cheer that you got to do to kind of engage with the
Cheer.
crowd,
Oh.
or like tradition that the crowd was doing?
That is a good question. I mean, I don't know. I always love it. Like, I don't know if like the fans feel this too, but like sometimes I will say it gets a little quiet in the PAV, and then like us on the bench, like we're like, what the heck? Like, why is it like kind of dead right now? Like we might be losing, or like it's kind of a boring game. So then like me and Lauren and like some other people on the bench will be like start like jumping around and like cheering really really loud, and then like the PAV like kind of picks up on it, and then like the entire gym like kind of gets going too. So like yeah, I love that like when that happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Chloe had a pretty nasty chest bump game also this season.
There was one cheer that was so good.
Oh
Elise
my God, I
literally
forgot about that.
She jumped so high, she fell down
Yes,
on the
okay,
sideline.
that actually probably is my favorite one. The
Which
Purdue
game was that? The
It was
Purdue game,
Purdue,
that's right.
and we
It was
were
just like,
down or
"Ooh."
something, and Lauren Crowell subs in like off the bench, and
Monster block.
she got like 2 really big blocks in a row, and then she goes and like hits this kill, and like I was so hyped. Like it's just so fun. Like honestly, like I tell people it's so fun being on the bench like here, because like I literally like I feel like everything that's going on the court like so intensely, and like she hits this swing, and I just was like, yes, and like ran out on the court, and my feet completely slip out from under me, like
was so
a banana peel was under me, and like I slip out, fall on my butt. You go back and watch the film, and like you can see
what?
Hugh standing above me, and he's like, yeah. And he like looks back and like the most like, what is going on back there?
Like somebody come get her.
Because I'm literally on my butt. And then like, yeah, I just popped back up because I was like, oh my God, that did not just happen.
So
There's 5,000 people here. Like, oh my God.
So what did you say after the game to you about that?
I think like the next day or something, he came up to me and he was like, hey, like, do I want to bring it up? Or like something very Hugh like that, like not actually being like, you know, addressing. He's like, do I want to bring it up? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, like at least you're into it or something. I don't know. I was like, yeah. You know me.
I know Hugh appreciates the team spirit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we talked about this one a little bit, but I want to talk about favorite like road environments. We said Nebraska. Where else this year did we go that was a crazy environment to
I
play
really
in?
liked Ohio State.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie.
I like Ohio State,
I'm not saying
too.
I love Ohio State because, but like playing there was a lot of fun. Like I feel, and their gym is so new.
Yes,
and
it's
like
so
they
nice.
just like, I feel like since they have their own facility now, like the fans are like just there for volleyball, and I think like they had music going at like the right times, like, and it was just like a really good like. It was good energy the whole time we were there. And obviously it was a great game.
Yeah.
And I just thought between there and then I think Nebraska is obviously like my top favorite place to play.
I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ohio State is super, super nice. Just like really good, like gym to play in, like has everything you need and like good size.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Is there anybody else?
Texas?
No.
No, not a fan.
Sorry, not a fan.
I like the atmosphere was good. Like it was really overwhelming. But I think the idea of like how the pab is really like modern, and then they don't have like Terraflex, and like the gym is really old, and the lighting is super weird when you look up to like set the pole.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool to play
like it's
there.
like historical
From
that's
historic
cool, but
perspective,
then it's like
yeah.
no.
Like the fact that like I watched Texas volleyball a lot growing up too, and so it's like cool to play there, but like it's not my favorite place to play.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so what was your favorite game as a Gopher so far?
Mine was the border battle this year.
I was
it
gonna
was
say that
sold
too.
out, gold out.
It was
And
so
it was such a good
fun.
game.
And we all played so well.
And like
it was
everyone
just so
came,
fun.
everyone came in and did their job. We were locked in from like like that whole week of practice. It was just a good lead up, and
The pad was
it was
packed.
it was such a fun.
It
night.
was so fun. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. Like that's I think that's honestly probably my favorite game ever.
yeah.
That was an incredible match. And at the end, too, how you got to finish it.
Yeah.
With the
I
overpass.
got to do it. Yeah.
What was that like,
gosh.
seeing that drop on the floor and then all your teammates rush and dogpile you?
I was kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because there have been some overpasses in practice that I have hit in the net,
Or
and I was
over.
like, oh my gosh, it's coming back over the net, and I was like, Melanie, you have to like put it over the like over. I like wasn't trying to be strategic. I literally was like, hit it back over there, and if they get it, we'll play defense. But I just hit it, and I was like. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
no,
like,
I
it's
was
over,
on the
game's
I was on
over.
the bench
Yeah.
and
I
I
was
saw the
just so
ball.
happy.
I was on the bench and I saw the ball going up to right front, like really high. And I was like, Melanie, do not set this ball. You need to hit it back over. I'm literally like telepathically like hit it down, hit it down, hit it down. And then she like got up and like hit it, and I was like, yes, like
It was so
woo.
awesome.
So good.
So when you win a big match like that, you get to celebrate on the court. But, you know, when you're in the locker room, there's no one else in there besides the team. What's it like when you're in there, like, celebrating with your teammates?
I think there was music going.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
were
we just
jumping
like get
around,
crazy,
dancing,
like
screaming.
nothing too.
There wasn't any like
exciting.
water or anything like
No.
getting sprayed.
Yeah.
That was not a case.
No, but like I mean, I think it's just like so fun. Like, I mean, honestly, we celebrate so much on the court too, and then we just like go in the locker room and we're just like, yeah, and then Hugh comes in and we're like, yeah, Hugh.
It's really fun when he'd get fired up a couple times, and it was a lot of fun.
I think that's cool.
That's like everyone's like, yeah, like we should be like, it's like
when you get to see like the personality, I think a little bit more of like your head coach, like when they get to
It's
feel
a lot
the win
of fun.
too. Because obviously, like when we're out there, like at least for me, like I'm celebrating, like I don't really care.
Yeah.
But you know, the head coaches, they're kind of more like.
They gotta be composed.
They gotta be
for, like, the whole
composed,
game.
and they
Right.
come in and they're like, yeah, like it's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Like to be like,
It was awesome.
It's got to feel like all your hard work that you're
Yes.
putting in, practices, late nights, early
Yes,
mornings,
exactly.
and then you see that atmosphere and that finish.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be the best.
Oh,
feeling.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish out this podcast with a little bit of a rapid fire section.
yes.
So we'll do one at a time.
Okay.
We'll start with you, Mel,
Okay.
and then we'll go to Elise after that.
Okay.
All right. So first one for Melanie. If you could trade lives with one of your teammates for a day, who would it be?
Yeah, it would be Lauren. I would just like to know like what she thinks about all day and like does all day when she's not hanging out with us.
Why is
Me too,
that?
honestly.
Because it's like she doesn't have class. She has like one class like every other day for like an hour. And
She
like
doesn't have class.
it's like
That's true,
well
though.
she has online class, but like she's not going to class, and it's just like I always tell her like I always wonder like what's going through her mind every day. I would just like to trade with her for 12 hours.
Yes.
Okay, Lauren, we'll see if we can arrange this. All right, what is one hobby or activity off the court that you want to start doing this year?
I really tried to tell Ronnie to let me snowboard. I really want to learn how to
yeah.
snowboard at some point while I'm still in Minnesota.
Oh, you absolutely should.
Yeah, so
There's plenty of hills, Buck Hill and Burnsville.
if that's
One to try out.
something I'm allowed to do, I want to try.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they don't want you getting hurt.
No.
Melanie,
Yeah,
hurt me.
Melanie's not allowed
Out
to
for
go
the year.
snowboarding under
That'd be
my
bad.
direction.
All
as
right,
well.
maybe like puzzles. We'll find something safer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you.
puzzle. Paint? No.
No
Oh my God.
No
no art
puzzles.
activities.
So
All right, what's your favorite app on your phone?
Instagram.
she's a Reels girl, everybody.
Yeah, I don't have
she's
TikTok.
a Reels girl.
I have Instagram, and I send specialized reels for everyone. I don't mass send reels.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Big Insta girl.
Personalized reel sender.
Follow her, melanie.s,
Yeah, that's my Instagram.
if you don't already.
The blue check mark.
All right, what is one thing that you need to do on the court before your volleyball career ends?
I would like to beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin,
Yes, I like
and
that
then
one.
like win a Big Ten championship. I think.
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
The obvious ones,
Okay,
kind of.
Yes, I think that agreed.
awesome. And then lastly, who is one person you would like to have on the Point U podcast?
Oh yeah, Senki, our DJ, will be joining this podcast at some point, even if he doesn't want
Even
to.
if he doesn't want to.
We have so many questions for him. I
Yes.
think that's a great person.
We got to get to know him.
All right,
He's
cool.
an integral part of our little system. we got
DJ Sank, we'll see you soon. All right, now Elise, your turn.
Yep.
Okay, what's the funniest thing that you've ever seen happen on a volleyball court during a game?
Oh, dang, that's a good question.
I have mine.
Oh, I can't say that though. Okay. Funniest thing I've seen happen on the volleyball court during a game. Honestly, I don't.
It has
know
to be when
anything
you
too
fell on
funny.
the sideline. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but-
falling on the sideline. That was a pretty good
Watching
one.
it back.
I think there was one time. This was not funny at the time, but like it'll be funny now. There was one time like a very early game that I was like starting like when I was actually setting like my freshman year, and I was just like a deer in headlights, and I'm pretty sure I like was serving and I legitimately served it under the net in the game. It was not funny at the time.
Is there video of this?
Probably.
We'll have to
I won't
we
look
gotta-
for
we
it,
gotta find
but
this.
yeah, I think it was not funny, but it was funny now looking back on it. But then the falling too, that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, we have video of that. Check it out, Gopher fans. All right, what's your favorite emoji?
Favorite emoji? Ooh, okay. So there's a few I've been using recently. So it's like I feel like I go through phases with emojis. Sorry, this is supposed to be rapid fire. I'm giving you like an explanation.
That's okay.
But I go through phases with emojis. I think right now I've been liking the one, just the hand. It's just like this. I've also been using the crown a lot.
For Queen.
Or queen or king. Like if
Okay.
I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, oh yes, like thank you so much, and then just like a crown emoji.
Yeah.
I also like the party one, the blowing like a like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you, I know what you're talking
that
about.
one,
Yeah.
and then I think
You type in party on your phone and then it pops up.
Oh, and then of
first.
course a classic is the one that's like the smiling face with the tear emoji. I like that one too.
Okay,
Like,
so you have like 6 that
just
you're
4.
going through right
I usually
now.
keep 4 that I use a lot.
Okay, cool. So this will rotate next time we talk.
Yeah, probably.
All right, next question.
You're hard.
Sorry.
If
Keegan.
one song could play every time you entered a room, what would it be?
Probably like what do you think? What would play if I'm entering the room?
I feel like there's so many options.
Yeah,
Whatever your
literally.
favorite
I
song
mean,
is,
it's your
you know.
choice. Like every time you walk in,
Oh.
Elise enters and it's your hype song.
Like probably like I was gonna say Handsome and Wealthy.
Yeah, by
Like,
Migos. Shout out Migos.
I walk in the room, it's just like, no, I don't know. That's not a good song though. It's not appropriate.
It is so appropriate.
Well,
It's whatever
Probably, like-
you want to play.
Yeah, probably that
Handsome
or
and
like.
Wealthy. 100 shots again. You
Yeah,
mentioned that
or
one.
What about-
Pippa's. Honestly, like Pippa's is like such a good like little instrumental vibe.
I
Yeah.
feel like everyone can get excited for Peppa's.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Cooks.
Oh,
That's pretty
actually,
one.
that's a good one. Jimmy
Yeah.
Cooks. I feel like when that walks in, like that's like
Time to go.
yeah.
Okay, do you want to give us a little singing sample? Like, how's your voice?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Me and Melani both have really good
What song
voices.
is it?
Wait, the Jimmy Cooks. How does that even go? That's appropriate.
Or Peppa's? How does that go?
Wait, we don't
We
speak
don't
another
speak
language.
Portuguese.
Dang, I thought we were gonna get some singing
Well,
today
how
from
did
Gopher
we-
Volleyball.
Yeah, I
Not
actually was
Peppa's.
giving a concert in our apartment last night.
Oh, low key.
Yeah,
Chicks, sing that
like
one.
okay, so I've been listening to Goodbye Earl
Yeah.
and Travelin' Soldier by the Chicks recently.
Okay.
We
So
can
yeah,
sing
I was
Goodbye
singing
Earl.
that. You know that one?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, we should probably
Earl
sing it
had
then.
to die.
So Marianne, right away, Marianne flew in from Atlanta on a red night midnight flight. She held Wanda's hand and they worked out a plan, and it didn't take them long to decide that Earl had to die. Yeah, it's really good. I
All
would
right.
recommend
I
it.
This would have been
recommend
a
that
cool concert for
Yeah.
people to see.
Yeah.
All right, last question. If you could trade lives with one of your
Oh,
teammates, who
okay.
would it be and why?
I'm gonna have to pick Taylor Landfair. No offense, Taylor, but mostly because she's 6'5" and I just want to try it out. And she's so long, and like I literally like just want to be able to hit the ball at that height and like her strength. And just like feel that, like that would be so cool. Like she's so tall and long and strong, and I just like want to try it out one time. But yeah, also she's a cool girl too. Like she's a design major or graphic design major, so like if I was like artsy like that, that would be pretty fun for a day, I think.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to see you try and hit at her height.
Yeah, right. Like
And
can
see
you
how
just
that would go.
imagine? Like wow.
All right.
Over for everyone else. Would be so good.
Well, cool. I think that'll do it for episode 1 of the Point You podcast.
Woo woo.
Mel and Elise, thank you so much for joining. I think this was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Yes, love it.
All right. We'll see you next time, Gopher fans.
Woo! Thank you for watching.